Hi there, my name is John Stevens. I'm pastor of Zion Lutheran Church in Oregon City, Oregon, and we are part of the ELCA. And welcome to Dollar Store Children's Sermons, where I take a look at the lectionary text and I tie them to an item from the Dollar Tree or the junk drawer or the kids' room or the garage. That's how we've been doing it. Thank you. Thank you so much for spending a little bit of your week with me in this way. Thank you for your partnership in this ministry, and most importantly, thank you for the love that you are sharing with your kids, your congregation, and your families. You, my friend, are rocking it. Thank you. This is for the first Sunday in Lent. And I've talked about it before, but about the power of those two letters, in versus of, that Sundays are little Easters, and so it's Sundays are outside of Lenten time. Actually, this year for Lent, we are not burying the Alleluia. We do this maybe every 3-4 years or whenever I feel like it, but it's been a while, and we're not burying the Alleluia as a reminder that every Sunday is a little Easter. Every Sunday is a point where we can lift up and we can say Alleluia. So next year we'll be back to hiding it. We hide the Alleluia in a box right next to the altar, and I call it the worst case of hide and seek ever, because we all know where it's at, we all know the word we're hiding, and we choose not to say it when we choose not to say it. So, but today is almost a springboard off of last week's children's sermon, and I'm looking at identity. And so the Transfiguration, we were looking at, who is this? How could they tell it was Elijah and Moses? And then the Transfiguration of Jesus, and then like our own identity and all of that. So that's the springboard. And so what I'm looking at is like 2 3x5 cards, and on the 3x5 cards, on the 3x5 cards, my brain is going, my squirrels are running off. On that, writing the letter I, and then on the second one, the letter F. Or where I was going is that at the Dollar Tree, sometimes they have flashcards, the learning the alphabet. Maybe you have some in your nursery. Maybe if you have a preschool, maybe you have flashcards with the letters. I have some flash decks that's got like I for iguana and F for firefighter, any of that. But of course that spells the word if, talking about if. And here in the text, the tempter, Satan, shows up during this temptation and uses the word if you are the Son of God. Now, if you are looking for a children's sermon that deals with the temptation, and we're moving into Lent, and how do we handle our own temptation, I have other children's sermons you can find on, in the search bar, or just look up temptation first Sunday of Lent or something. This year I'm really focusing on that identity, that word if, because Satan is looking at Jesus and thinking, if you are, and I'm almost like, I can almost hear the tone. Well, if you are the Son of God, then if, and that if is a powerful word, and it can work right into our hearts. And so if you are, and then that can get translated to us, if you are a child of God, if you are good enough, if you are loved, if you, and that if, and it can be a powerful thing. And so this pulls us back to the waters of baptism. Jesus moves into the wilderness right after his baptism. He moves in, he gets sent into the wilderness. I think it's Mark that he gets driven out into the wilderness, but he's there, and that question of if you are the Son of God. And it's like, yeah, I'm the Son of God. And so for us, when we have, and that's that temptation, we have the temptation to question our own lovability, that if you are a child of God, and you can pull the kids to the baptismal font and say, this water and the promise that was poured over your head, the promise that we hear from God outside of this, we find God in this place, in all of us, telling you, you are a child of God and you are loved and you are enough. If you are a child of God? No, since you are a child of God, and that this is who you are. God created you, and God loves you, and God holds you, and that's it. God has said it. Boom, you are loved. So moving from that if and all about identity, and as the kids gather around, you say, you, my friends, are loved. You are children of God. You are children of the Most High. You are whatever terminology you want to use. You have been created and loved. So that's the direction I'm going, all about identity. If you didn't use the transfiguration, if you didn't use the idea about the hats, if you didn't use the idea about maybe different masks, using, or you're a great impersonator and you have all these voices you could use. You could do Kermit the Frog, you could do the Cookie Monster, you could do what? I don't know, all kinds of things. And then about identity, about who am I? And ultimately it gets boiled down to you are a child of God, without question. All right. Hope this can be useful for your own children's sermon. Thank you so much for the love you're sharing with your kids and your congregation and your families, and thank you for your partnership in this ministry. You are rocking it. All right. We'll see you next week. Peace.